Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Hunter x Hunter 1, episode 5, and in the last episode we are continuing on with the exam. We're still in phase 1, we've done the first half through the tunnel. Killua's met up with the other three, so now he's part of permanently the group, I imagine, from this point forward. He's very similar to Gon in a lot of ways, so them two are going to, bounce off each other pretty nicely. And we've got the second half of phase 1 to go through. So that's the swamp, where there is apparently magical creatures which are able to sort of mimic and try to deter you from getting through this phase in a way. So they still need to follow that dude, Satotes, whatever his name is, and get through that. So 36 have dropped out of the 404, so there's 368 left. Yeah, 368 left. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we really need to talk about. So I think we're just going to get into it and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 5. Alright, so... Interesting enough, I don't know exactly what Hisoka's deal is at all. Because, well, I guess, it only being episode 5, I don't know who to trust. I can't say for sure that, what Killua... He says he smells something in the air and something that's wrong with Hisoka in a way, but... I mean, I don't know what any of it's based off, because the characters obviously haven't had the episodes to, develop, and we actually haven't, learned anything of the reasons why he gets this sort of bad air around him. I mean, I get the feeling that he's sort of playing the bad guy so that he can assess the other examinees. Because if he assumes that he plays a real, if he plays a bit of a dick, then I guess he assumes that people would come after him anyway. But then I don't understand what the other guys the other examinees are thinking. They collectively, they made a decision to fail just so they could get rid of Hisoka. I don't understand why they would do that. You know what I mean? Because the only thing that I could really gather from that is that they have just decided that the exam this year is just too hard. And that they're hoping that next year, because it's a different examiner, that it'll be an easy one to pass, an easier one to get through. You know what I mean? But it's just an odd choice. Similar with that as well, I don't understand what Leo's plan of attack was. Because what would Leo have even got out of that, other than him? You see, because then I want to think, well, if Leo decided to go back and fight because he couldn't deal with the fact that Hisoka took out so many dudes, but then those dudes were dicks in of themselves. To basically make a decision to fail yourself, and then give yourself the role of examiner, and you get to choose who gets to join and be a hunter and whatnot. It's that's some level of dickishness that I don't even get from Hisoka. So. You know what I mean? I find those, that group of people more dickish because of that shit that they did, So yeah, I don't know what Leo's plan of attack was. And I also don't know what, Kurapika said it, that he probably saw something seen Leo and Gon as a kindred spirit, and that's the reason why. I don't know how he would have known that, other than... I think you could see it in Gon, because... he came to help his friend out, but Leo didn't, So I don't know. I don't know how powerful Hisoka's magic is. I mean, it seems very fucking powerful. They couldn't even hit him once. Well, Gon hit him, but then I guess that was out of the fog and unexpected. But yeah, so. I had a sort of an image in my head of is he a hunter already, and are they using him as a way of if he's like playing this role up that he's just an examinee and he isn't really a hunter yet, then because they've already had everything about this exam, right, is based upon like it's all happening without the examinees having preparation for it, you know. So anything can like come out of the woodwork and be anything really, you know what I mean? You can't really trust anybody. You don't know what anyone else's sort of goals are and anything like that. And you know, the examiners themselves are free to fuck around with the exam itself and choose what they decide who's worthy of going through. So it would make sense to me if Hisoka is a hunter already and he's been put in there as sort of like a little, you know, a blip to assess the examinees from the inside, because Satotes wouldn't get that from being in front. And it could be like a thing of like every year there's always these people who, instead of trying to get through the hunter exam for themselves, they choose to try and fuck over other people instead. And I can't help but think that maybe people who do that aren't worthy of being a hunter, so they'll never get through. I'm trying to think in my mind, like, why would you let those guys through? Because I don't know. The profession of being a hunter seems very much like, just because it's so almost like, it's like a free spirit to be one. It's like an adventure in a way, right? That it might not, I mean it might do. It might have like associations and stuff. I guess you would have to in order to have like the hunter exam itself. So maybe there is like higher associations you can like go with, depending on which route you want to take. Like if you want to be like a bounty hunter like Kurapika wants to be, maybe there's an association strictly for that, or what. But because I don't know, I just can't imagine if there is like associations and things like that with, I mean there must be associated with the exam. So why would they willingly choose people who are there to fuck over other people, knowing that that's the kind of person you wouldn't want in your association anyway, you know? So to me it would make sense having an examiner on the inside acting as an examinee to remove all of those people. And I could see Hisoka being that kind of person, because he's got a lot of experience, right? Kurapika said that. He's got a lot of experience, and yet he's only taken this test once before, right? I don't know what he was doing beforehand. I don't know how old he is. You see, he has this. He looks like he could be older than our main group, right? Obviously, Gon and Killua. Anyway, they're 12 years old. I imagine Hisoka being like 20s, somewhere in there, older than Leo even. So I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. It's either that, or he was, I don't know, he could have been talking to, I don't know how many examiners there are in there, if that's what they're doing, but he could have also just been talking to another examinee. When Killua was there, we got like a little scene where you saw someone like have like a radar, and I think it went off. Now I don't know if he turned it off or he was tracking someone and then lost sight of them. I don't know if that's the same person that was talking with Hisoka or not, though, you know. So I have no idea. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, so we had to look at a lot of the sort of the magical beasties that were in the swamp. So we had the big ass fucking tortoise thing, the noggin, hoggin, McMuffin tortoise, whatever the fuck that was. That had like, I don't know, strawberries fucking attached to its back. We had the claymore mushrooms, because of course you step on them and they almost like explode and fucking in like spores and stuff, you know. We had the hypnosis butterfly, which sent the people to sleep, or I imagine they did. You had the ruse raven, who acted like Satotes, and then they fucking went flying through the fog, didn't realise there was a cliff there, and literally impaled themselves. So here's something I want to speak about. Because it was clearly said before the exam started that, like, you know, if you want to continue at your own risk, because it's very highly possible that you're going to die in this thing, right? Now the people who got impaled, I have no. They are dead. I am positive that there's no way they are alive. They got fucking impaled through the bloody, like, just everywhere. Mainly through like the chest, and those are big fucking spikes. The ones who are getting eaten by the big ass tortoises, I can see that. The claymore mushrooms, I don't know what the effect is on those, or the hypnosis butterfly sending them to sleep. But here's the thing, like if once they awake, if they are asleep, once they awake, what then? They're still stuck in this fucking in this swamp with beasties like around, aren't they? So I don't get if like I don't know how to know if death is actually a thing in this show, you know, because the people who are impaled, there's no way that they're alive. But like, I'm talking about like in regards to Hisoka when he uses these cards, right? And he clearly like just, you know what I mean, like, because with a card, I don't think you're knocking someone out, right? But I can understand like a card because of its like thin nature that at a certain speed you could like slit their throat or something, right? I can understand that, but there's no blood, so I have no fucking clue. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, here's the thing: if he has just killed them off, then maybe there's a no bullshit rule with hunters, and just being like, listen, you fucked up. You know what I mean? But if they did die, then I don't know. Maybe he's not an examiner. Like maybe he's not a hunter after all. And then we've got the frog thing, which swallowed up Killua and Gon. It's nice to see. It's nice to see Gon like out of his sort of element and like not really see the things coming like he did in the first few episodes, because it seemed like for everything that was coming his way, Gon was like, you know what I mean, he could either sense it or whatever. So he got swallowed up by the frog thing. I love how that fucking, and I don't know, here's the thing, I want to assume that Killua knew that this was coming, so he took another one of those orange juices knowing that could happen, and he's just a smart kid, but who knows. So yeah, we had Gon, who was he's got such a keen sense of smell that he's just following Leo's fucking cologne because it's unique. I do have this feeling, like, in a way that because I guess he's like an older teenager, right, and he dresses up in a business suit, that he does like, I can imagine Leo like layering it on, like putting like loads of it on, you know. I can imagine Leo being like that. So yeah, and then there's 148 left in the exam, 220 with. See, this is the thing as well. Back with the death like thing, and I'm not totally sure if that is like, you know, if death is actually playing a part here. That they clearly said 220 have withdrawn. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about withdrawn, you think more about the people who have just either they're unable to continue, or they have decided to leave. But again, at the very start, they said like this is your chance to leave. So I would imagine if you were to continue, your only way out really is probably via death. I mean, or finish. You know, just fucking throws me off. But yeah, 148. So that took out a lot of people. That took out a real lot of people. I think the good thing about it as well is that because of like the people who are leaving, eventually it's going to get to a point where all the people who remain are going to be more and more like talented and stuff, you know. So we'll get a good look at a lot of these guys' abilities, I'd imagine, in the coming episodes. But yeah, that's all I've got for episode 5. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below I have links to certain things. Discord, get yourself over there if you want any information regarding my content or anything like that, or you just want to come on and talk to me in the community. SirMonkeySuit.com, all my website, all my content is over there, and Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. If you do want to support me, that'd be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the early access tier, that's for $5 a month, gives you access to shows a week early, and you get 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every week. So if you're clamoring for a lot more episodes every week than the normal YouTube public, then you want to become an early access tier patron. Full length, that's a $10 a month, gives you access to my full length library. Everything I actually gets a full length. exclusive tier. That's the $15 a month. That gives you access to a bonus show that I'm currently reacting to, which is 7 Deadly Sins. So if you're interested in that, get yourself over there, become an early access tier patron. $50, that is the elite tier. Every time you pay $50, you'll get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go at the back of the list by about 7 shows. Might take me a while to get around to it, but I will do eventually. But if you don't want to wait that long and you want your show to be reacted to next, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. But that is all. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.